I'm a big believer in the bad guy makes the good guy. So in David Massie, you'll see it, especially if you've read the first one, the dark armored figure. He's like almost like a pseudo Darth Vader. This is what I'm trying to pull from the ether, but in his own way, and there's big reveals this book about the dark armored figure, but he is definitely one of those characters I hold really near and dear. And I think how I made him, I probably can't say any spoilers for the first one, though.
I mean, so long as it's you saying, I mean, not me.
Okay. Well, when the dark armored figure enacted his plot to kind of manipulate David and CP to take out the things he needed them to take out, I thought it was very he acted like Darth Vader mixed with are you a fan of anime at all?
Yes, but I am shockingly unversed in much of it.
Okay. Well, like I tried to like have him be like a strategist, kind of like Lelouch or something like that. Um and so I think it's cool when I have my bad guy kind of dictate the story.
Gotcha. So theoretically, your good guy is only as good as in relative to what he's able to, or she, your hero, what they are able to overcome.
And my whole goal for David Massie is I want it to be a long series that really takes the main character David from this kid to becoming a leader, I want to have him have just such like character development. Like I've thought this book, I'm only on the second one, but I'm in my head on the fourth one. So I want it to be, you see the progression every time. Like David's going to make his mistakes. He's going to get played by the bad guy, but he's going to learn his lessons and he's going to persevere and become stronger.
You mentioned that you've got jumbled notes from everywhere on your phone and elsewhere when you're plotting. So how do you begin to put that plot? Because you're writing it, it's still red hot when you're getting it down on the page. So when you've got notes and things, how much of a do you do like a formal outline, or is it just here's my page of incoherent ramblings like Jack and the Shining, where it's just all over the wall like a conspiracy theorist board?
It might be even a little worse than that because I'm also, in addition to being dyslexic, I'm dysgraphic. And it's funny when you look up the definition of that on Google, it says the inability to write. So I'm a walking contradiction. But so my handwriting, terrible, terrible handwriting. But I will straight up type it out on my phone, and then I always handwrite my outlines. So it might say like 5 words on that outline, but like those 5 words are tied straight to somewhere in my memory where it's like the scene. And it's when I start writing, there's this flow. And when the flow comes, it's like all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to add this in there. And it's something I love. It's like spur of the moment from the ether. Bam, here you go. And that's actually how in this new book I'm coming out with, David Massie in the Hidden Underworld, I thought of the whole idea for adding the gods into it. So there's some lost gods they find in this book.
And so when you're planning ahead, because I know you're going to put in some twists, are those coming to you as you go as well, or are you planning ahead for the twists that you're going to do?
Most of my twists are planned ahead, but some of them are just too good not to put in there. Like in the moment, I'm like, I'll put this in there, and if it doesn't feel right, I'll take it out. But it's really like, I'd say 70% of the twists are planned, 30% are not.
It's a pretty good ratio.
Oh yeah, it's
Not that I don't know how you may disagree with me. I don't know if it's up to the author, what's going on in your head all the time. Sometimes like you have a little bit of control, but the story is what it is, man.
yeah, it's guided. I definitely think it's a guided thing. The story comes to me. I'm just lucky enough to be able to write it.
Guided like by a muse, or just guided by?
I'd say there's everybody has their own muses. I think God gives me some ideas. My life gives me ideas. I like to pull themes from things I've had to encounter in my life that I put in there, and I put things I love from other stories, movies, TV shows. Just pull all the concepts together, mash them up like Play-Doh, and form my own statue.
Well, I've seen you. I mean, that's what we're all doing. There's only what are there? Is there 8 main plots? I think 7. I can't remember. Check out Christopher Booker, esteemed audience. He'll tell you the exact number of plots that there are through all of literature. I want to say it's 8. I've got an outline. I could look it up, but I'm not gonna. Well, it doesn't matter. There's a fixed number of plots. We've all seen some variation. We're all doing remixes. That is what it is. So I know that at this point, I've heard you talk elsewhere that you're planning for around 3 to 5 books, possibly 7.
Honestly, I could see David Massie getting to, I don't know why, 11 books.
Wow, it has gone up since the last interview I read with you.
Yeah, so at first I was thinking 3 to 5, maybe 7, but I'm like, I really want to take David from, like, in each book, have him grow a little bit, and it will get to the point where he's like, wow, that's David Massie, but he started out as this snarky, sarcastic kid, that just missed his brother, and grows into this great leader. So like that's what I'm trying to streamline, I guess. And I think 11 books is more than a healthy amount.
You know what's going to happen is you're going to figure out the perfect way to end it in 10, and somebody's going to listen to this interview and they're going to say, he promised 11. Where's my 11th book?
I love their passion. I mean, I definitely will think about doing next gen and all that with it too. So,
well, there you go. Instead of 11 books, or instead of 11, they'll get 20 books because you'll do the next generation. It'll be fine.
They're getting David Massie's whole life story.
So with planning out that far ahead, I know obviously you've got some jumbled notes. How do you focus on the here and now, what's immediately in front of you with the story, as opposed to getting overwhelmed by all that's still yet to come?
So I always start with where I want the next book to end. So I want the next book to end this way. And then I work back, kind of. That would be the best way to kind of describe it.
So is there a list someplace with 11 great endings jotted down?
So I don't know. It's kind of like a game of chess, but yes, there is some endings jotted down. Like I got the ending for book 3, ending for book 4. Kind of got the ending for book 5. I don't know what I want to do there yet, though. I try not to box myself in too much. All I know is the next one, I definitely want it to end here. 4th one, if I find a better ending, I'll end it there, I think of like a timeline and you chop it up.
Gotcha. Okay. So even though you don't know the exact plan for the later books, you know where the timeline's going to be, approximately where the characters are going to be. You have faith that when you get there, the great ending will come to you.
100%. And already kind of know how I want the books to end. Like I have the overall ending in my head. It's just I have book 3 ending, and then it's wide open, and then the last ending's right there. So I know where I want the whole series to end, but it's getting there.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. And it's sort of like any other journey, right? You have a map, you have a basic destination, and once we get on the road, we'll find it as we go, right?
100%. It's just like a fun ride, fun adventure.
And by the way, esteemed audience, I looked it up because it was bugging me. Christopher Booker says there are seven main plots that you can remix and reuse. 5 basic conflicts, 7 main plots. Look them up. Christopher Booker, do a Google search. You're welcome. I'm here to help.